Hi, and welcome to Table Talks on Today with Paul. Today, I'd like to share some knowledge I have as a former hockey player, and that would happen to be how to tape wrap a hockey stick. I'd also like to discuss how I believe this method of taping is underutilized and somewhat versatile. First, I'd like to show you a typical example of an ice hockey stick. Got some helpful hockey hands here today. Thank you, helpful hockey hands. I'm not going to show this portion here, but anyone in the area of hockey would know we put a little bit of sticky cloth tape is what we use. And right here in this section is a nice sweet spot. Depending on your mileage, may vary for getting a little extra grip on the puck between passing, shooting, and that sort of thing. But what I want to focus on today is I want to focus on this hand grip section. And in ice hockey in particular, need a little extra grip. You just seen the helpful hands. Yeah, them thick gloves, well, guess what? You're not going to get too good of a grip on here. That's why we have this little knobbies portion here. You're not flush with the surface that you drop your stick on. A little bit easier to grab up with those gloves on. Also, we got some finger grooved areas here. That's my particular favorite way to do it. Of course, also, thank you, helpful hands. You can also do just a flat tape job. Maybe you don't like those finger grooves. Maybe they get in your way. That's a rough call. Still have the knob up here. That's personal preference as well. Of course, given the fact that it's just wrap after wrap after wrap, it's your choice on how big you want it to be. So, here I'm going to demonstrate now how to do a proper wrap like we do on the hockey stick. On a hockey stick, no doubt. How about that? So we got our cloth tape here. I'm going to start at the top. We want to get a nice little diagonal on there after we secure the tape to the top. Here I've already started a pretty decent diagonal, and I'm just going to keep rolling with that down the stick. Now what we're looking for is somewhere between 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch overlap. We want a solid base layer of tape for our next step. You're going to go down as far as you feel is necessary to keep your grip on the item that you're taping. If you decided that you don't like the finger grooves, which that is what I'm showing next, how do we accomplish that? Then you simply just go ahead and tape back up the same way you came, with the exact same style of diagonal pattern. Now you might not have a perfect line on there after you go back up the other way, but that's okay. So right about there is where I feel comfortable. There we go. There's our length. Be a little conservative with this part. We're working on the finger grooves now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start twisting the tape. Keep your tension on it. And what we're going for is somewhat of a very thin rope consistency. The tighter you wind this down, the better your finger groove. We're going for a nice solid piece of tape wound up like this to go ahead and do in the diagonal section on our way up the stick. And I feel that this right here is about the right consistency I'm looking for. So we're going to gently just roll this, and we're going to get a nice little diagonal finger groove right there. And as we roll up, you're going to figure out real quick on whether you need some more of that or not. Doesn't matter whether you started off with the right amount or too little. You can always do a little extra, just like this. Keep that tension tight and roll it some more. And right there looks about perfect. Now in hockey, I have just enough room up here for my knob. So I can grab that stick off the ice as soon as somebody knocks it out of my hand, checks me, or I accidentally drop it. Gosh forbid. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and put a nice layer, tight layer. You're going to want to pull this nice and taut over our finger groove. We don't want the finger groove to be moving anywhere. We want a solid base for grabbing onto. So here we got our tape side down. We got our established finger groove here, and now we're going to tape over it. Nice and tight. And I find the part of the secret of this is not putting too much slack in the tape at one time. You want to pull nice and tight, just like you see here, to where you're feeling the pressure. And so what we're getting is a nice established layer there. It's not going anywhere. You're going to get a good grip. And honestly, previous experience, not very easy to get off once you got it on there. So be sure you want to put this onto something, especially for those of you who want to play around with the different tapes. Because I think we all know how Gorilla Tape is. It really likes to stick. Now, of course, with hockey, you got that leather palm, as we can see on our helpful hands over here. Showing, yep, there you go. A little bit slick. You're going to get a little bit wet in the palm. Of course, you're playing an actual sport. You're getting a little bit of energy out there. You're moving and grooving. Yeah, we know how it is. I'm going to stop right here with the tape, though. And this cloth tape, as you can see, is very easy to rip. Like that. Now I'm going to demonstrate for you the top notch. And it literally is, now that we got our finger grooves, just one over the other. Just imagine you're just building layers up. That's all you're doing. One after the other after the other. And you're going to make it as thick as you want. How far off the surface that you think you're going to drop this on do you want it? That's a question for you to answer. Tough call. But you're going to experience and learn. And the beautiful thing is, one game to the next, doesn't matter. You're going to figure it out eventually, and you'll get that perfect thickness. So that's how you get that going. And as simple as it was before, we can just break it like that. Very nice. But I also do believe that the hockey tape wrap job is versatile. I think it's underutilized, and I believe that I haven't heard enough conversation about its possible purposes. Just for instance, with a baseball bat, maybe for home protection. Here I have a typical example. This is not a wood baseball bat or aluminum. This is a nice, hard, durable plastic. Just so happens that I think for home protection, you got your bare hand instead of your hockey glove. Well, now I can get a real good grip on that. It's not going to go flying out of my hand. I think that's nice. And as I discussed already, your mileage may vary. Let's go ahead and make it to our own purposes. Why not? Go ahead and make it the length you want. So you can see here we got us a nice little Louisville Slugger. Classic example of a baseball bat, and we got a longer reach. Maybe you want to grab it with one hand. Well, this grip is going to help you do that. Whether it's one-handed or two-handed. Of course, I don't think you're going to get onto the field at the baseball game and be able to use this. I think that's against regulation as far as I know. But I hope this was informative to you. I hope it serves you well. and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.